Hey guys, my name is Ashley BeLoat. I am a model and actress based in Los Angeles. So my entertainment journey started in modeling. I've been modeling for about 10 years now. And when I started working in the Los Angeles area, I started acting. And that was about 4 years ago. I've been working with ACM for over a year now. And I love working in horror, so it's been really fun to collaborate on some short films. My first work with ACM was the OnlyFans horror short. This is a little embarrassing. It's actually my first time on here and not really sure what to do. In OnlyFans, I play the character of Ellie, and she is struggling to make ends meet, doesn't have enough money for rent, and ends up turning to the terrible world of the internet to try and make enough money. It was interesting because I had to act with someone on a live stream, an imaginary person on a live stream. So there was no one actually talking to my character. It was me sitting there reacting to the laptop the whole time. There was lots of crying involved. There was a fake injury involved. My character actually cuts her hair. Alex wanted to do this with a knife and make a really dramatic moment. He had the great idea to get a wig, and we cut through the wig. It looked like it was actually my hair. He did a great job of finding something that matched how my hair looked at the time. At the time I was blonde. The next short I worked on with ACM was Hands. Get off me! Hands is a short about a girl named Sarah who has been holed up in her apartment a little too long and is starting to see some things that may or may not be there. It was terrifying. Hands came at me from all corners, all crevices, all closet cracks opening. We had some really talented actors that contorted in certain ways. It was, but it was a lot of fun to shoot, as creepy as it looks. The mermaid, ooh, this was so neat. I was so excited that I got to be part of this one. The Mermaid is a short about a girlfriend and boyfriend that go to spend a day at the pool, and something's in the water.
Babe, there's something in the pool.
It was very fun to be the girlfriend that couldn't care less about her boyfriend. Oh, what's that? I can't hear you. That was a lot of fun. But I had a very easy job that time. I didn't have to die. I just had to lounge by the pool. So that was a nice change of pace. In the Paranorman short, we did a live action recreation of the opening scene of the animated Paranorman, and I play the final girl that is hunted down and eaten by a zombie. It was cool that we were able to replicate another scene, which was really fun to attack as an actor. I got to look at the choices or the performance of an animated character and see how I was gonna bring that to life. When we were breaking the door, my character was supposed to be holding it shut, and that's why the zombie breaks through. The first time that they were trying to break it, the door actually opened a little bit, and I had to keep like fighting to close it. I remember that. Don't Play is a short about a haunted VHS tape that someone plays but probably shouldn't have. I play the Scream Queen that you'll see in black and white. We might have tried to recreate a scene from Psycho. It was a very sticky shoot. It was not actual blood we were using, it was chocolate syrup. To get the shadow on the wall, I will never forget how funny it looked. Alex was holding the camera and he was using the knife still like right in front of the light very precisely. And I remember when we were filming that, I asked him, even though he wasn't getting the shadow at that time, I was like, can you at least have something coming at me, something? I feel so silly screaming to nothing. And Alex was so kind. He's holding the camera and he grabbed a hairbrush and just acted like he was trying to stab me with a hairbrush. Airbnb is your worst nightmare in an Airbnb rental. It's two friends that go off on a vacation, but they're not alone. I play the character of Amanda, who always sees the glass half full and wants to imagine that this is a wonderful vacation. When little things feel off, she just ignores it. Can't be real. No. Must have fallen over. It was a lot of fun shooting the poisoning scene. And it was actually my idea to fall on the ground and get drug away by our unknown guest, or the host that never left when we rented. The Cave is a short about two travel influencers that might have taken on an adventure that was really not the best choice.
Hi guys, it's me, Carly.
And me, Emma, and today we're exploring
Joshua Tree.
I know everyone says, oh, influencers in the wild. They don't know what they're talking about. This was influencers in the wild. We hiked out to Joshua Tree and we went to the national park. We were hiking through the entire park to film this. I think it was springtime. It was still quite hot though when it was high sun. And we found a cave that looked very sinister, and we filmed in it until the sun went down. There is no light in this park aside from the moon and the stars overhead. It got dark and it got scary. There's this point where my character Emma is going down this dark cave, shining a light, looking for her friend. Harley? I didn't have to pretend. It was quite scary and terrifying thinking about looking for my friend in a place like that at that time of night. Hot yoga is the yoga class from hell. If you have ever wondered, I don't know if I'm going to survive this yoga class, you haven't been to my class. I played the yoga instructor that accepted nothing less than absolute perfection. Welcome to hot yoga, and somewhat enjoyed everyone's suffering and pain. And it was very entertaining to teach a classroom of students and decide how we were going to kill off each one. A little bit more to the right. There was one particular moment where we were having everyone do a cat-cow, and it was decided I was going to kind of like drop MMA someone to death. Not quite deep enough. It was hard to do that without bursting out into laughter. This was a fun short because it did kind of walk the line between horror and comedy, which I really enjoyed. And I also got to work with one of my friends and favorite fellow actresses, Juliet Cecile. The Serbian Dancing Lady is a tale about a Serbian dancing woman, mysterious and in the street. And if you record her against her will or make fun of her, it doesn't end well for you. I play the character of the homeless woman. In the first time that she appears, she has a close call with the Serbian Dancing Lady, but doesn't become a victim. And I actually returned in a later episode of this series because of the experience my character had. In the past, she was able to use her knowledge and help save a potential victim's life. Rideshare is a short that, in this age of Uber and Lyft, I think more than a few of us may relate to than not. I just got in Uber. I'll see you soon. Bye. I play the character of Amy that gets into an Uber to go on a fun night out and realizes a little too late in the ride that her driver knows her and has been following her and is kind of a stalker.
What are you talking about?
I'm your soulmate, Amy.
But I've never even met you.
That's not true. I was behind you in the line of the grocery store.
This role was very easy for me to relate to because I personally have been in this position and been afraid while in the back of a taxi or a Lyft or an Uber. And if you watch closely in Rideshare, there is a moment where my character kind of tears up.
Just let me out. I won't say anything.
Because everything is hitting her and she's realizing the position she's in. It was not difficult for me to get there. It just happened because it felt real. My introduction to horror was with older movies and classics. Psycho is one that was very influential in my introduction to everything. I will also never forget Jaws, which was relevant to me growing up in Florida and always going to the beach. I also admire all the practical effects that they used on that. I think because I was first a registered nurse before I got into acting, I've always enjoyed empathizing with other people and knowing where everyone is and trying to meet them where they're at. When I started acting, it was very much a challenge and fascination to understand someone's story to the point where I could live and tell it. I want to do every role justice, give every moment justice, and to do that, part of you has to believe it, part of you has to really feel it. My favorite thing about making scary short films is, ironically, how much fun you have on set. I don't know what it is, but the people that want to work in horror are usually funny and they're up for anything. And when you're doing the death scenes or the struggle scenes, even though it looks terrifying, the moment they call cut, usually there's so much laughter in between takes. There's fun things about being the victim and the villain. It's entertaining to witness and experience all the terror and take the audience on that ride with you. But I won't lie, it is very entertaining to also be the source of chaos. And one thing I enjoy about playing a more villainous character is how intentional everything is. A good villain doesn't always show all their cards, but you can hint at it as the story goes along sometimes. There's a lot to unpack with playing a good villain. My preparation process before a role, depends on the genre, depends on the character. First, I'll sit down and take a look at how easily I relate to the character to begin with. If I really need to get to know them, I might journal in character. I might really make some choices about formative childhood memories that have helped them become who they are today or influenced how they feel today. I love to also decide what music do they like, and I'll listen to different music until I find their style, and that helps me unlock a bit more about how they speak, how they move. I love to discover how they dress. And then when you get on set, I love to look at the world around, look at each object, and like if I'm cast as a character and we're shooting in her house, I'll go around the house and I'll look at every object, and I'll maybe make up a story about how my mother-in-law gave me this as a wedding present, or, oh, this was a trinket I bought when I was overseas at this point, or, oh, this jewelry, it's from Italy, and it's so much better than American jewelry because it's European, you know? I think the hardest ACM short to make that I was involved in was the Paranorman adaptation that we were doing, because we had the door that we had to make, we had the stunt work and practical effects of that we had to do, and then there was the audio factor. We were not able to make a lot of noise in the area we were filming, and there were a lot of very long screams, and I had to go in and do voiceover for those screams later, but when performing, I was not able to actually scream. So it was kind of comical because I was holding these screaming expressions and positions, but no noise was coming out. My favorite food, I don't know if this counts, my favorite food is chocolate cake, hands down. The more icing and the fudgier, the better. And I did have some last night. I love working with ACM, and I guess that goes without saying because I've done it 10 times already. Working with ACM is always an adventure. It's always a good time, but scary at the same time. And I love that ACM writes, produces, casts, edits, everything. Their short films, they do an amazing job. I'm talking to you, Alex. And then I have always had a great experience working with my co-stars at ACM. Everyone has been so lovely, even when they're killing me or vice versa. It's been great people, lots of fun. Usually my co-stars are up for anything, and that's always exciting. I love a good horror movie, a good thriller. It has everything. It has the moments where you connect to the characters so that you can root for them. It has the elements of fear. It surprises you. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. It makes you watch closely. I do also appreciate comedy. I need comedy in my life. I need to laugh. My favorite ACM short I'm in is the rideshare one, because that's a situation that could really happen in real life. I'm always scared by the stories that could actually happen, and that's truly one that I've experienced. My favorite ACM short that I'm not in is the FaceTime one, the comedy version. I think it's called FaceTime 2.0. I think it's hilarious because I love the horror comedy genre, and I thought the performances, I laughed the whole time. And I bet if I went back and watched it again, I would laugh again.
Hannah, are you okay?
I think I might want to spend a day with the monster mermaid. I don't think I would get in the pool with her, but I've always had a fascination for mermaids. Sometimes I sleep with a nightlight, I'm not gonna lie. Or at least being able to see the room around me, because the inner child in me will look suspiciously at the closet door waiting for it to creak open. You have to have your feet covered up when you're sleeping, otherwise the monster will grab you. I don't sleep very peacefully, which is probably not a good thing. Memorization can be a difficult thing. It's a muscle. The more you do it, the better you become at it. The most I've filmed in one day is 36 pages. You have to take it day by day sometimes. You learn for the day, you tape it, and learn for the next day. There's pressure in acting, but there's pressure in any career that you're going to pick. There's no perfect stress-free job, and I think because I have been a nurse, especially an ER nurse, I'm kind of used to pressure. So I think part of me thrives with a certain amount of pressure. I love slow burn thrillers. Shutter Island. I love Us. Get Out is a wonderful one as well. I can't narrow it down to one or two or three. So some things that might be coming up next. I have also wanted to be a dark and mysterious and deadly mermaid, not a Disney Little Mermaid, but a siren that might drag a swimmer or sailor to the depths. I've also wanted to be a witch for a role lately, so I'm not sure if we might have a storyline like that coming up soon or not. We'll see. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. If you would like to follow more, I am on Instagram and TikTok, and my username is just my name, Ashley BeLoat, and I hope to see you there.